Yo, what's cracking, people? Thanks for being here. It's Killer B. Good to have you. Hey, we got the Viper, we got Liereyy 1v1, Spanish v Huns. The war here, the map here is El Dorado. Call it the Hippo 3 version of El Dorado. This map gives you basically water around your TC that allows your villagers to take shorefish, technically great fish, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Gathering shorefish from the very beginning. The downside is you can't build farms on this land. You get the normal amount of sheep, if I remember correctly. I think you just get one boar on this map, and you get incredibly small amounts of gold and stone. 2 piles each near your TC. The rest is all in the center, and that part of the map is revealed for both players from the jump, so you can see if your opponent is making a move toward the center of the map. Okay, Liereyy is going to be in blue. He's only got one panel of fish here. Very strange. The blue player will have a single panel of fish, whereas Viper on his side has 2. Pretty major advantage for the Viper early on. An extra 350 food. It's the equivalent of having an extra board. It's a big deal. Okay, so what do you do as Spanish in this situation? It's actually not nearly as dire as it would be on Arabia. The Spanish ability to build more quickly allows you to build towers pretty quickly, and you can transition from towers into castles pretty easily. I think the Viper here can take his initial stone, and he can push toward the center. He can either try to tower up this area and steal these resources from Liereyy, or he can push on Lierey's own initial starting resources and really starve the blue player of any gold units. If Viper did want to tower, this hill on the front would be pretty nice. Let's see if he can get there, but berries would be very exposed, and so would the gold. Anyway, enough of my speculation. Liereyy on his side as Huns, you have every option in the book open with Huns. But with a map with this much food, you got to be thinking about maybe a couple of scouts. You know, you don't have to go deep into like 6, 7 scouts, but I would think a couple scouts early would be really nice because of how open the map is. You can see these tiny, tiny patches of wood. That means that players will have to constantly be establishing new wood lines. And it's hard to protect the entire map. The Viper can protect this area with his mill and his wood line with some palisades, but he's going to have to move this wood line. And if you have a couple scouts, you might be able to continuously harass those new wood lines. Anyway, players luring in boars, grabbing shorefish. Interestingly, the Viper here will lure in his boar even though he has quite a bit of fish left. He's going to have, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 villagers on land-based food and 4 villagers on fish. So he's going to have, looks like 11 villagers in the mix, grabbing tons of food. I expect both of these guys to be able to go up to feudal age really early. Liereyy, for the moment, is headed over toward his deer patch. Looks like he may begin to push a couple of deer toward his TC. That will help him make up for the food disadvantage he has from not having a good spot to fish. Viper on his side of the map is not pushing deer. Looks like he's actually just coming back home now with his scout, doing some pretty thorough scouting. He's come forward. He's found Lierey's initial lumber camp. He's found the berries. He's found the gold. He's found the stone. And he can really see if he can exploit that. He can try to exploit Lierey's resources. Huns are a tough civ to take on nearly any map. Maybe not on Arena, but on maps that are this open, Huns are a really great choice. So I do like Lierey's position in this civ. But it all comes down to what the Viper decides to do. He's probably going to do something of interest here. A couple villagers going forward to drop a barracks. Viper's also going to go take some stone, which is interesting. A couple vills will power build a barracks as Loom comes in. 19 villagers for both players as they click up to the feudal age. So feudal age on the way. Both guys essentially at the same time point. The Viper's build here is a little bit more dynamic. He's got 1 villager grabbing stone. She may be trying to grab 30 stones so he can drop a tower and then a TC when he hits castle age. He's got 1 villager taking some gold, which is interesting, and he's got militia coming out. Looks like men-at-arms to me. 2nd villager going over to the gold pile as we speak. I would say men-at-arms and at least 1 tower by the looks of this build. Liereyy on his side is focusing on just taking the normal amount of villagers on wood. 1 less villager than you might have on Arabia. but mostly just focused on taking the initial food. And Liereyy here is fishing. He's fishing a pile of fish that I can't see. So he does have a second pile somewhere. I just can't seem to click on it. So it's all good. Liereyy did have 2 piles of fish. Fish don't come in piles. He had 2 schools of fish. How's that? Liereyy will power build his own barracks on the front, 3 villagers forward here, and inevitably go for a stable. No villagers onto gold for now. Blue player is going to have to go into scouts, I would think. Okay, so feudal age is in for both guys. Liereyy will go ahead and drop that stable. I like the fact that he's got 3 villagers power building it. Because the Viper can annoy him with his initial scout. Yellow player Viper is going to come forward, and this is actually pretty interesting. He's going to avoid the center of the map. He's going to walk those villagers a little bit of the long way around because the center here is revealed. He's going to stay just outside of the view of Liereyy and bring those 4 vills forward along with the 3 initial militia, men-at-arms on the way, and the Viper will drop a tower right on Lierey's gold. Like I said, like I should have said, Call of the Hippo map. These might be part of one of Nilly's tournaments. You guys should check out Nilly's channel. He's got a really good YouTube channel, great content. Maybe these guys just chose this map at random, or maybe they're playing Call of the Hippo. Ooh, villager going down right there for Liereyy. If this is a tournament game, I would think that the Viper should go ahead and wall in this tower and wall in this gold as well, because he could probably starve Liereyy pretty hardcore of his initial resources. Viper's trying to get his second tower down. This would be in series with the first. They could cross-protect each other, but Liereyy is going to come in with everything he's got. Viper's tower was more than halfway built, but the blue player here will rush in with 7 villagers, a spearman, and 4 scouts. Viper will lure him out into arrow fire, but it does not look like Lierey's going to be too perturbed by a couple of arrows coming in. He'll lose a scout or 2, but the men-at-arms are dead, and the tower is dead, and the tower rush seems to be dead. Viper losing the element of surprise there pretty quickly. He got a vill, and he will be a villager ahead for the moment, but that's all he has to his name. A little bit of time and energy put into that push has been thwarted by Liereyy. Interestingly, Liereyy is going to add in a archery range, maybe some skirmishers to push back against towers. I really don't know right now. Without a gold eco, of course, he won't be able to build too many archers. Ooh, Liereyy coming in, though, with those 2 scouts, and he'll focus on a vill. Will he get it? Liereyy will get that vill. He's going to lose 2 low HP scouts, but he'll get a villager there on the front. Viper is going to take down the spearman of Liereyy, and he's going to come in with another spear and just try to keep annoying. Denying this archery range for a moment. Both players on 26 vills. Here comes another tower. Viper will drop another tower, just 3 villagers building, but he does have that Spanish build speed bonus. Liereyy on the other side has 6 vills building, but he started a little later. 1 vill is now distracted, and we will see who wins this race. Looks like Liereyy is catching up rather quickly, but he is not going to get this done in time. The Viper is going to get his tower up first. He can garrison, and he can take down another vill. Yes, he can. All right. Well, those of you out there cheering for the Viper, you'll be happy to know that he's 3 villagers ahead here. He's got the jump on Liereyy. Liereyy going into double range archers, but I can't imagine that he has any gold income. So it's probably going to be skirmishers rather quickly. Liereyy will come over and rush down the Viper's tower here. Viper he's not going to win this area in the long run, but he's keeping Liereyy busy. He's walling himself in at home. He's going pretty heavily onto stone, which usually means you can go into the castle age and build a castle rather early. So all in all, I think the Viper has hope. He's ahead by a few vills, but he is not going to be going up anytime soon. Yellow player will retreat his 3 villagers away for now. He'll drop a house just to keep them doing something. His first tower was rushed down, his second tower was walled in, and his third tower here is going to be rushed down pretty quickly. All that being said, Liereyy has been slow to take gold. He's really going hardcore onto gold now. 8 villagers now headed over to take gold. That's how far behind Liereyy feels like he is. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the Viper's got enough gold to click up right now. The problem is he does not have very much of a food economy. He actually doesn't have any real food economy, so he's going to have to start towering himself up. Looks like 4 farms on the front, and that is it. Okay, where are those villagers from the Viper? Oh, they're hiding out here in the fog of war for now, taking some deer meat. Maybe they'll drop a mill. Maybe he'll get into risky Viper mode, greedy Viper mode. Towers coming up all around, though, and he's going to try to protect himself. For the feudal age, with a couple towers, Liereyy is going to add in some archers for the moment. No upgrades on those, but he's going double range archers for the time being. That should allow the blue player to take over some map control. But, you know, yeah, we'll see. The Viper here is not in a terrible situation. He's going to have enough towers to protect himself here early on, and does seem to be in a good position on the villager count. Okay, so this game is slowing down a bit, so let's go ahead and speed it up. I'm not known for my patience. These 3 vills will come home with that deer meat, and they are not going to get super greedy and drop a mill over there. Looks like for the moment we've got a couple archers coming forward from Liereyy, a couple of archers in a couple of groups. They're going to be here in time to find out that the Viper is towered up and he's gone into skirmishers. Lierey's gone rather deep into archers. He's got quite a few of these on the map. That could actually hurt him in the long run, because it might allow the Viper to click up to Castle Age a little sooner. Those archers from Liereyy are still poking and prodding. He's going to come forward and find another tower here from the yellow player. That's going to be difficult for him to push in against, but we'll see. We'll see what he's capable of doing. Those archers are now +1 damage. They can take down villagers rather quickly. They're going to walk up to the hill here and maybe put some pressure on some villagers. For now, they are going to camp under this tower, push Viper off some farms, and head south. So far, not a ton of damage coming in from Lierey's archers, but at least he's trying to make use of them. You invest so much in feudal archers, you got to do something. Meanwhile, the Viper does have 4 vills on deer on the other part of the map, so he's kind of hiding in the fog of war from Liereyy and getting some free food. Lierey's coming forward now. Oh boy, he's going to go tit for tat here. You want to drop towers on me? You want to drop towers on me? I'm going to drop towers on you, bitch. Actually, he's going to drop some towers right in the middle of the map. I really, really, really like this tower. There's no hill here to really take advantage of. He could have tried to put a tower up here, but I think it's a really nice way for him to start to expand his economy. Dropping some towers here, taking some stone in the center seems like a really wise choice. In the meantime, Lierey's going to find Viper's villagers. The Viper here getting a little careless. He's going to walk those villagers right into Lierey's army, and he's going to lose at least one of them because of it. 1 vill down and a second question mark. Yeah, that lady's going to die too. So Liereyy will get 2 vills, and maybe even more importantly, he'll get 2 vills that had a crap load of food on them. I honestly can't remember how much food a villager can carry, but I think it's almost exactly 1/4 of a deer. So that would be, what, 30 food each? Something like that. Quite a bit of food in those 2 dead villagers' hands that is now gone. So the Viper loses 2 vills and a whole bunch of food. A couple archers, couple skirms left for Liereyy. Good harassment. He's still pushing pretty hard. He's pushing the envelope here. That's going to put him way behind in clicking up to castle, but the map is so open that I think it's the right move. He's harassing the Viper. He's adding in some towers here in the center, and now he's going to go and start taking some, I would think some stone to build more towers, but maybe he's going to move over to gold. Liereyy back at home is on stone with 4 vills, so he's probably going to go expand his gold economy for now. But in either case, the blue player here has seized the initiative quite intensely. Viper's chance, I guess, would be a castle drop, but he's nowhere close on stone, and he's out of stone. His initial stone is gone. He spent it on towers, and unfortunately, that just did not work at all. Liereyy going for wheelbarrow as we speak, rolling forward with +1/+1 archers, and like we were talking about early, you have to continuously establish new wood lines on this map, and that leaves you a bit exposed. Though the Viper towered his initial wood line, he's now had to move to the right, and Lierey's basically going to walk in here and idle a whole bunch of economy. Viper will even let him take a villager. Looks like a 2 vill advantage for the blue player at the moment. Viper's got some skirms on the hill, +1 damage on those. They'll come in here and pick out a few of these archers. But Lierey's got overwhelming numbers. Back at home, Liereyy is stonewalling. He is not kidding around here. Starting to stonewall, has built a market as well, just in case he does lose the center. He'll be able to build up his gold eco as he moves on through the game. Let's see, blue player is taking 1 villager on stone, building more towers, and 3 villagers on gold. And this is looking really, really bad for the Viper. Viper will click up to Castle Age. He's got to have a couple tricks up his sleeve because he's not going to see Liereyy getting up too far behind him. Liereyy is going to be 9 seconds behind the Viper. Man, after so much time and energy put into building some towers, the Viper here is going to be really, really, really far behind in this game. He's gone into full skirm mode, which is okay, but, Lierey's got gold, and he's got stone, and he's got a stable. And if he wants to build a few knights here early on and take down a bunch of Viper skirms, he can really do that. This is a very difficult game for me to envision the Viper winning, but that's why I watch the game. From time to time, maybe we get a little bit surprised by these players. Anyway, it looks like double ranges for the yellow player, continuing to crank out skirmishers for the time being. Maybe he'll add in a couple of spears just to keep his opponent honest. I don't know. You got to be thinking about some knights. Liereyy is going to add scale barding armor as we speak. He's seen that his opponent's gone full skirm, and it's just not a difficult decision at all. Both players coming out. Oh no, Viper was trying to come in and sneak a villager in. But at least for now, she is going to be... she's going to be discovered. Looks like Liereyy will send a couple of archers over. He'll find his last 2 sheep. And maybe he'll keep the pressure on Viper. Viper's been sneaking some vills in the last couple tournaments I've seen, and he's had a lot of success. But in this case, that villager is probably not going to last long. Lierey's going bloodlines, Castle Age coming in soon. The Viper has gone deep, deep, deep into skirmishers. Lots of skirms on the field for the yellow player. It's really all he has to rely on. His gold is probably gone, and his stone is probably gone. We'll see these two armies probably not really clash. Lierey's just going to try to get out of dodge for the time being. Viper, his gold, I believe, is gone. Where was that gold pile? Yeah, it's over here. No, he's still got a little gold left. 300 gold left to work with. Bodkin Arrow coming in, Elite Skirm coming in, and Pikeman coming in. Pikeman is a necessary upgrade here. Siege Workshop on the front. The Viper does need to push on those central towers. Right now he's pushing Liereyy across the map, and he's anticipating these knights. The problem is that although he anticipates these knights, I don't see a pikeman within... I don't see a single pikeman on the map. They're slowly coming forward. Viper is housed just for a moment. Ballistics coming in. Leather archer armor coming in, but it's not going to matter. These skirms are going to be totally dead by the time the Viper gets a single pike forward to deal with this. Pikmin on the way, but it's going to be too little too late. Second barracks coming up. He can, the Viper here can basically put out a bunch of trash on the map, but his gold is dwindling. Let's see if he can pull this one back. Liereyy at the moment is in a commanding position. +1 defense knights with bloodlines. Crossbowmen in, +2/+1 on those. Just an absolute, a great combination of units. Crossbows can focus down pikes and basically protect these knights. Knights can focus down all of these skirmishers, and it should be a pretty easy task here for Liereyy. Viper on the front, adding in more and more pikes as we go, but those crossbowmen are numerous enough that, man, he's gonna need a lot of trash here to push this army away. Blue player on his side of the map is not going with the second TC just yet, building up a second lumber camp as we speak. He's got units everywhere. The Viper could raid him, but the yellow player is obviously thinking very intensely about defending himself. This is a really tough position for the Viper, who will go scale mail armor as we speak. Gonna beef those pikemen up a little bit more and try to absorb a little more arrow fire. Cav Archer's coming in for Liereyy. He's got a really diverse set of units here. Great raiding unit there in the Cav Archer. Viper's towers for now are going to keep him in pretty good shape, but not in great shape. This wood line, for instance, is incredibly vulnerable. Yellow player at the moment is 5 villagers behind. This wood line is also vulnerable because it is out of... If you have archers here, this tower can't help defend that wood line at all. Viper just building up as much trash as he can. In the meantime, Liereyy drops a second TC in the dead center of the map. Going to continue to expand his villager advantage, and he's going to continue to expand his mining of all of these resources in the middle. On the one hand, you would think, why is Liereyy not going in? He's got all these knights, he's got overwhelming numbers against the Viper. But on the other hand, you have to remember that controlling this center part of the map is just so difficult for your opponent. No reason to rush in at this point. Yeah, blue player's going to see all of those spearmen from the Viper. Get the hell out of Dodge. Lierey's got no reason to rush. He's got all the resources. He's building a pretty decent villager advantage. And yeah, it's really the onus right now is on Viper to make a push. Battering rams starting to mass up. They'll do well if he can get them in at just the right moment. The problem is that Liereyy is... Yeah, he's in the vicinity. He sees what's up. He's got his knights kind of hanging out. Timing is everything here. We'll see if the Viper can make a little bit of a push. Time to see why the Viper is the man. Let's see if he can do something crazy here. Going to try to run pikes in, but too many crossbows from Liereyy, cutting them off. Looks like a few pikes will go down pretty quickly. We're within range now of the tower, but yeah, Viper will lose 4 pikes in the meantime. And for the moment, we're just waiting for this fight to go down. Viper's gone full trash. Liereyy is controlling the middle, and he's trying to force his opponent's hand. This is the perfect map to honeypot your opponent into the middle. Oh no, Liereyy with a castle drop coming now. Viper on the other side. He's losing his siege workshop. There's too many knights here. He's got to rush in. One last big push from the Viper. This is his only chance to somehow win this game, to get a really favorable engagement right now. Rams come out, that mangonel will go down. The castle here is going to be under pressure before it's even built. Knight numbers from Liereyy are starting to dwindle. The Viper might have a chance here. He's got 5 rams on the front, pushing on this castle. Pikemen are regrouping. They're going to push these knights away for now. Archers and cav archers trying to take down those rams, but it takes so long. Liereyy will continue to repair as fast as he can on this castle. Viper loses 2 rams. The castle is, it's below half health, but it's going to live. This castle is going to live. Liereyy continuing to run in with pikes and put pressure on those knights, but just too many knights and too many villagers that wanted this castle to stay up. Not quite enough rams trying to knock it down. We will see that castle on about 1,000 HP here in the end before the Viper gets thwarted. He's still pushing in though. He's got quite a few elite skirms on the map. Got a couple more rams on the way. Yellow player is absolutely all in and rather desperate at this point to win this engagement. But in the end, the Viper here is going to have to call GG. The Viper made it interesting there. If he could have pushed that tower down, maybe he has a chance. If he could push that tower down and kill enough of these knights, maybe roll in and take down a couple of towers, he might have gotten a foothold into the center of the map. But Liereyy did a great job just to wait. He honeypotted his opponent here. That castle drop was beautiful. And in the end, we'll see the blue player get a rather dominant win. Viper had a Snuckville in the back. She did drop a house, and that's it. So no crazy snuck villager action in this particular game. Liereyy with probably the easier civ to get a win with, not necessarily the better civ on this particular map, but ever since the early part of the game when the Viper couldn't get his tower rush rolling, we basically saw Liereyy dominate this one. He went scouts early. Liereyy did. He built a couple of archers. He built a couple of skirms, took over map control, ended up towering up the center, and he got the win. One wonders in hindsight if the Viper's first tower, which was on Lierey's gold, if that was walled in, if this all could have been a whole different scenario. But hindsight's 2020. Very nice game from these two guys. Not a map that I get to see all that often. So I enjoyed it. Really clean win from Liereyy. Really nice attempt from the Viper to beat the Huns with Spanish. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this game. I'm Killer B. I'll catch you soon. By the way, I will be live on Twitch in 3 days. Ooh, that's exciting. Tuesday, March 28th, 2017. Maybe that's in the future or in the past when you're watching this. I will be live on Twitch. I think I'm going to go at 20 GMT. Still some variables to solve in that equation. It's not my house, so I don't really know that the internet's good enough. I'm told that it is. Hopefully I have a nice stable connection, and I'll catch you guys on Tuesday, March 28th, 20 GMT. Finally back on Twitch after basically a 3.5 month hiatus, something like that. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking this video out. Please leave a comment if you have any comments, and much love.